It's April 26th. We are in 2026. Last night's buzz on Southern Fried was kind of surreal. I'm TJ. That's Adam. This is Mayhem's Amigos. And I gotta be straightforward about it. First and foremost, this whole weekend, I've stayed pretty well drunk.
I think that's kind of understandable underneath the circumstances.
I mean, today is the first day that I've really just been like, no, I'm not. To give you an idea, is I actually went because I knew, or I do know I need to dry it up a little bit. I bought beer today.
That's not like you. Yeah.
Right. Hey, Volkster, how's it going?
Hey, Volk.
I bought Coors.
Shit.
I'm like, good Lord, I need something that's going to be a little easy on my stomach. If I want one after work or whatever, I've got it here. And that's a whole nother ball game we're going to get into in a minute. But it was just this weekend. I've been drunk. Like, I have almost been as drunk as Grizzly on Southern Fried Radio. I have been drunk.
All right.
And I mean, and like yesterday, as an example, like I got up and I was drinking water and I was just trying to kind of get through a couple of things. And then I ended up going up and meeting my buddy Mark up at Pat's. And Chris, if he does log in today, he'll love this. I was approached by I understand that feeling, Volk, but I was approached by the Odin Sons Veterans Club, which is a motorcycle group.
Okay.
And they caught my interest. I'm kind of thinking about it. I've talked with the other half about it. We're debating. On one hand, I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to be a part of a group like that. But on the other hand, I'm going, do I want to join somebody? And that's kind of my internal deliberation at this point.
Yeah. And ultimately, you'll come up with an answer, and it's going to be whatever fits best for you.
Right.
So.
Now, I mean, granted, now I said deliberation, and I hear Steve even now yelling at me, stop using big words. And I really wish he was here so he could do it in person. I mean, he had just the untimely loss of him is a primary reason that, notwithstanding that, Friday was my birthday, but that has been kind of like the underlying, I just want to escape it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I have remained drunk. All right. Thank you, Volk. You made it a little better. Oh my God. I have remained very much alcohol influenced. I mean, it's I gave Grizzly all sorts of shit last night on the buzz, oh, you're not even drinking a real beer, you're drinking Truly's, I was like, isn't Truly's a gay beer? I mean, I was in rare form last night.
Well, Truly's is for people who can hardly handle White Claw.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's like, no, it helps I understand he's got an underlying medical condition that, he drinks that so he can have alcohol, but it doesn't affect him that bad. But it's still a seltzer, which translation, that's a gay beer.
Yeah.
So
you got to say it right. It's a seltzer.
Oh, okay. I mean,
fancy,
but I did give him all sorts of shit. And if he's listening right now, and I'm looking at him right now on the party cam on Southern Fried, and he's hearing me say this, he's giving me this dirty ass look. If he is listening to it, of like, you son of a bitch. He looks like he's just ready to stab me for me saying this right now.
Truth can kind of hurt sometimes, huh?
He's like, I'm going to gut you, He's got that look. So But I mean, it was just one of them things. Like it was something I could get a hold of and run with and laugh,
Yeah.
and I had everybody else cracking up with it too. Like we ran with that. We did have a moment of silence yesterday for Steve, which I'm glad we did
Yeah.
that. Of course, Tuesday morning disaster, 8 a.m. Please, everybody log in, give your good memories, and
Yeah.
help them because my God.
Well, you know what? Even if you don't have memories of Steve, go there and listen to some of the stories.
Oh man, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
come on.
Hey, Chris, I mean, yeah, Steve had there was some wild stuff with the man, and I'm encouraging everybody to go and listen to that and enjoy it and laugh and celebrate the guy we all got to know. And for those of us that were fortunate enough to really get to broadcast with him, and I did in multiple different facets. Mike, I as far as Mayhem goes, I think one of my favorite shows that I can think of that I had Rage, and it was right. Oh God, I remember this now. It was right after um CM Punk's first match on AEW. And we were live, and Steve was in the chat room. And Steve was firing every single shot he could at Rage. And Rage is firing back and getting angry and getting into his Sasquatch mode like he always did. And
Yeah.
finally Steve turned around and he goes, "So hey Rage, when are you gonna pay back Sarah Jane?" And oh my God, the explosion hit.
Yeah. That was always
That
that's
just
always funny to remind him of.
It was the quickest way to get Rage just unloading on everybody. And it was Chris, it was the guy we called shit stained Steve. We lost Steve um Thursday evening.
Yeah.
And it's just been kind of difficult to run with it from that point. But we've been all trudging through, and his obituary came out on Friday. There's been some good things that have stemmed from this. One of them being that dialogue has reopened between Tyler and myself, and good dialogue. We talked again on Friday, and we both kind of agreed that we hoped for the joke,
Yeah.
but no, he wasn't that old. We hoped for the joke, but when we saw the obituary, that was pretty much this is what it is.
Yeah.
And that was what really drove it home. And I'm not settled with it yet, but I'm getting there. And the biggest thing that I keep in the back of my memory is Steve would not want us to stop.
Yeah.
He would want life to move on and get back to bringing joy to everybody around us as much we can. I mean, he really
Yeah.
would. And I can't argue that. And I just lost Adam again. Adam has been having computer problems all afternoon. So he would not want us to back off. He'd want us to keep going. Oh, Adam's back. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You got to stop hitting that window button.
I know. What
Um,
happens when you go from using a tablet or a phone to using a laptop?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's this button do?
Mhm.
Oh, shit. It threw me out.
Look.
Uh, like this morning, I went over with my uncle. We got the bikes out. We went over to Crazy Gals and Burn It, and we had breakfast over there. Of course, he got pancakes and stuff. I'm like, oh hell no. I got the chicken fried steak breakfast.
Okay.
My vitamins today came from the cream gravy,
You do what you can.
which of course, Steve would have been like, "That sounds like it's really good,"
Well, no, he would have turned cream gravy into some sort of perverted
Oh yes,
segment on the fly.
it would have if I would have brought that up and he was here. Oh Lord, it never would have stopped.
It's like, what kind of gravy do you like, Steve? And then he would have went on this. We would have went on an adventure with him through different gravies with a sexual
Oh yes,
innuendo on every single thing.
yeah, J Volk photo addressed about Steve. Volk, I have no idea what that is. So I'm guessing that's your one of your side ventures or something. Chris says, it's always hard in the beginning to fulfill their wishes, but it gets easier to talk and joke about things after, as time goes. And he's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It does. Um, that's within 18 months. If you think about it, within 18 months, Christmas time, 24, it was Rage and it was Marvin. And now we're at April of 26, and now we've lost Steve. I mean, 18 months roughly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's the photo side of his Facebook, and nice cigar and crack a new bottle of let me see if I can zoom this in where I can read it a little better.
I think that's Blanton's.
Blanton's and have a few. Yeah, I can't blame you for that.
Yeah.
Can't blame you for that at all. I mean, like I said, when I started the weekend, this was up to here.
Yeah.
Now it be gone. It got polished off real quick last night. I mean,
Yeah.
So to kind of get into other news as we move forward, and the school called me back on Friday morning. Oh man, what
Okay.
great news! I've got the job. I can go back, and I was like, okay, well, when I get to my lunch break, I will put in my 2-week notice, do the right thing. I'll work out the 2 weeks there, be done. We're good to go. Okay. So at noon, when I took my lunch break and I was um, doing something Steve would have done, I was sitting on the toilet. I decided that was the perfect time to put in my 2-week notice. I'm sitting on the toilet and I type in my notice. I say, okay, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice effective now. My final day will be May the 8th. On April 27th, I will submit my formal letter of recommendation. And I get a text back 4 minutes later.
Okay.
Thank you for your notice. Your services are no longer required. Bring back the truck.
All right.
So I'm like, you're firing me for quitting? And I did it right. I gave my notice and everything. I'm like, you're firing me for quitting.
Well, I mean, think about this job and how they've done everything else.
Everything has been just crazy over there.
They-
It
and
really
you
has.
they're going to take the truck that you were using
Mhm.
and just give it to RC. Give it to that other guy.
Oh God, that guy.
Yep.
Oh, that's the guy that I swear, if Chris worked with him for like 3 minutes, Chris is an over the road driver. Okay, Chris worked with him for like 3 minutes, and he would be missing the lower part of his jaw because Chris would have already knocked it right off of his head. You know,
Yeah.
this they are operating a truck. They're operating a truck knowingly with a bent frame. I mean, this is a violation of DOT compliance of just magnificent proportion. It has a bent frame, and they're still running it.
Yeah.
Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, because they do porta pots, right?
Right.
You cannot leak that stuff on the ground. That trailer leaks all the time. They will not pull it in and fix it.
It costs money.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like they're taking a huge chance on when they get caught with it by not fixing it now.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad.
Yeah.
They've got trucks there that are literally held together with double bubble gum, baling wire, duct tape, hopes, and dreams.
Yeah.
I have never, ever in my entire career as a driver once seen a company that is running that roughshod and getting away with it.
Yeah.
That roll-off truck that they had me in physically hurts people to drive it. You bring it up and they say, we don't have the money to fix it. Go deal with it.
It sounds to me like the truck needs pulled.
They have trailers that go behind these trucks that they will send into neighborhoods in Austin and very congested areas, that they are short tongue trailers on hook and panel. And to do anything, you have to get out and drop the trailer or run the trailer to do what you're going to do. And while you are in between truck and trailer, you can't see anything and nobody can see you. And I've seen how people drive on those city streets. They'll come flying around a corner, not paying attention. You could be standing there and they're doing 45, 50, 60, 70 around that corner and blast that trailer. I would have been dead, man.
And if you happen to survive, if there's anything on that trailer, anything,
yeah,
you're getting it. It's landing on you. So infections, sickness, on top of injuries that you were lucky to survive in the first place.
Right. I mean, granted, it wouldn't have been the dent that I think, that some people have, but I could have wound up with a dent.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people that they've got a dent from another source.
Yep. A magic wand, if you will.
Yeah, you can say it that way.
Yeah.
Grizzly's shaking his head like, you son of a bitch.
Was he referring
I
to
did say in the Southern Fried chat room that he's listening to the show right now.
They say, is he referring to the magic wand dent, or is he referring to the Truly's comments?
I think all of the above. In answer to your question, Rhino is God, him and Reba are really still taking it very, very, very hard.
You can't
Um,
really blame them.
I can't.
Yeah.
To give you kind of an example of how unexpected this was, all right? So anybody who saw the big one just happened, Volt, I'm guessing Bubba Wallace started it based on what Junkman's screaming in the chat room on Southern Fried. Um, 4 cars not in the crash. Wow. Yep, that would be the big one. Um, this to kind of give you an idea how unexpected this was. Rhino and I were talking. He's like, "Well, I've got to get something set up where Steve can get in the house, and I need to I need to build a ramp, but I want to be able to fold it up." And I said, "Well, you're going to have to put some non-skid stuff on that ramp for him."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, I am." And I said, "Man, I got a great idea. Let's get some, his angry turd emojis that he had for his Southern Fried show. Let's get a bunch of those and make them grippy
Yeah.
and put them all the way up on the ramp." I was like, he'd get a kick out of that. And Ryan was like, "Oh yeah, man, he'd laugh his ass off at that." We were discussing possibly building that ramp while I was up. And it was later that day we got news.
Yeah.
And that floored us. It floored all of us. So from that point, we've all been kind of sitting back. I mean, yeah, all right. So here's another way to kind of tell you how I am really taking this. Okay. I have not turned on my TV here at home since Thursday night.
Really?
My TV, my sound bar, I have not turned them on.
Wow.
This has not been easy to swallow. I lost track of the fact that I bought cigarettes and I don't remember buying cigarettes. So I bought more today and I come home and I open up my fridge and I'm like, I've got over a carton now. Fuck.
In your fridge?
Yeah. I keep them in the fridge, keep them fresh.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
I guess if it works, I can't argue the result.
I've done it like that for years. I mean, I always keep them in the fridge. I don't, maybe it don't keep them fresh. Maybe it does. I don't put them in the freezer anymore. Oh my God.
That seems kind of silly.
A touch excessive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually leave them in the fridge. But yeah, to kind of narrow it down, it's been that kind of a weekend. I'll tell you, last night on the buzz, you could tell Rhino is still taking it very hard. It's difficult for him to just get enough to want to do a show. He said more than likely he's pretty sure there is no wake and bake tomorrow.
Oh yeah, how could you? I mean, yeah.
He doesn't know if he ever wants to do wake and bake again. That's how hard it's hitting him.
Well, I mean, you have that with Rhino. You have what could be Ray's call about morning disaster.
We don't know. I'm not going to speculate on what Ray is going to do.
Okay.
I will recap that he had said multiple different times that he would not want to do a show without Steve.
Yeah.
Because Steve just brought him so much joy for the last 5 years, so much joy doing that show. And he would not want to continue it without him. And he did say when they made the announcement that there were some really hard decisions that had to be made, and he had to sit down and make them. But thankfully, um, thankfully, he's going to do that celebration on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and I really believe that. Good night, Grizzly. He's getting ready to go to bed. He goes to work on Thursday, so I really believe that you know that's going to be a really good show because there is so much over the years with Ray and with Steve that was hysterical.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that that's gone.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna miss our friend. We're gonna miss everything he kind of brought to any situation he was involved in. I mean, of course we're gonna miss him. But I've been having to think about all those aches and pains he's had, all the struggles he's had recently, health wise. He doesn't have those anymore.
No, he
You
don't.
know? So, I try to remember that when I get down about like doing a show like this, but not having Steve here, or thinking about some of the funny stories and then getting sad after the story ends.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I had a lot of people that have reached out after our second broadcast on Thursday,
okay.
and a lot of people said thank you for allowing the start of the healing process. Yeah, Corey hit this right on the head. He said he's worked for places like the one I was just talking about, where whenever he gets a new job, he'll tell them he wants to put in the 2 week notice, but if they let him go, he's ready to go to work early. Well, and it's funny you bring that up because I'm going back to a place where I did have a lot of fun with the job I did. I mean, how many stories did I come back with from the students and the crap that they would do?
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun teaching, and I think I loved teaching in San Antonio. I had a blast doing it there. Um, Waco was, Waco was odd when I taught there because I'm a big, Texas Longhorns fan. So these guys just insisted on driving me through Baylor all the fucking time, and I'm like, oh, you know, but we had a ball with it nonetheless. And then there was Austin. Well, when I first started as an instructor in Austin, we had a director of education there that she and I did not, under any circumstances, get along at all. I mean, we hated each other. She wanted things done like in ways that I'm like, that's not going to cut it, and
Yeah.
I tell her that. Well, how would you know? I know because I have the license.
Is that the same one that took credit for a lot of the stuff you did? Or is that
Oh, no, 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 that was somebody else. Okay.
okay? All right.
But no, I mean just I'd sit there and argue with her consistently, and then she'd go and she'd call, my boss, and she'd complain to my boss about how I argued with her, and he'd go, "Well, he's right." So I'd make her even more mad. And the other side of that is with her, I dealt with a lot of what we call reverse prejudice. She did not like me because I am white. If anyone was of anything other than a Caucasian descendant, then no way. You know, she loved everybody else. You know? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Corey, you got a point. He says maybe the DOT needs an anonymous tip. This current job or this past job, oh, I don't think it's just the DOT. I think the TCEQ might be getting a phone call as well.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be petty about it.
Yeah.
But let me word it like this. Every other place that I have worked since I got my CDL, there is one that I quit because I was injured. And they demanded that even with the injury, I come into work and get in the truck. I had third-degree burns on my right hand. I was on Vicodin. I was not medically cleared to drive.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been safe to have you behind the wheel.
And I showed them, written evidence. I am not medically cleared. And they said, well, and I mean, the woman that was in charge there, she goes, well, when did you print that out this morning on your PC? And I'm like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go clear my stuff out of the truck now. I'm done. This
Yeah.
is not going to happen. And I went to work for one of my top 3 favorite jobs that I've had since I had my CDL. Between the 2 different times I was at Cavalier Cartage, I was there a little over 5.5 years total.
Okay.
And I loved working for Gina. And even now, like, she's like, well, when you're up here on vacation, if you've got time, I could use your help for a couple days. Well, that'd be a little bit of extra money in the sock. I thought about it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
that could help out a couple things here. It might not be a bad idea.
Especially with some projects you have on the horizon.
Projects I have on the back burner right now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She said, she's got guys that are out there making 600 a day with what they're doing, and they're home every night. Corey, if you're still in Illinois and you're looking for a CDL job, hit me up later. I'm telling you what, I worked for that lady for a long time, and she was one of the best bosses I ever had. I still talk to her. She's one of my better friends. You would love working for Gina. She is just so much fun, and she pays well. She treats her drivers decent. The equipment's kept up and taken care of. You just really don't have a whole lot to go wrong. And honestly, if she would have opened up the Texas division when we started talking about me moving, which we started talking about me moving to Texas, what was it? 9 months before I did?
Yeah.
And if she could have put the pieces together to open the Texas division, I would have been running that division for her here. Okay, so only yeah, I thought you had a class A, man. But I would have been running that division here for her, and we really discussed it. But what stopped her was what the initial investment would be to make that happen.
Yeah.
To be perfectly frank and honest about it, though, if we had 4 or 5 trucks down here that had and we had maybe 10 refrigerated trailers between here and Illinois, she could have had 4 drivers in Illinois running shuttle between here and there. I could have had 5 here doing local P&D and setting up for the trailer to go north. And she could have had 5 up there running, Midwest Regional, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kentucky, Missouri, you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that, Indiana, Michigan. And she could have set it all up and then staged yard for drivers up there to shuttle down. And it would have been bang, bang. You got the back and forth shuttle for her for the shuttle lanes. 5 here, 5 up there. She would have really expanded her refrigerated business a lot. But just the initial investment to make that happen, she couldn't swing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we'd have a whole different fleet up and running by now, because I've been here for, this is my 4th year living here. Yeah, it would have been a whole different ballgame for me here. But, as my grandfather used to like to say, that's the way the pickle squirts.
That's quite the saying.
So, but that was one of my absolute favorites. Another one on the list is, and I still carry, when I'm doing teaching and stuff, I have the original leather book that I used to carry all the time. And that was when I worked for Flexigate Logistics. I was there for almost 3 years.
Okay.
And that was right after the one there that just gave me a bunch of crap, said I made up burning my hand. I'm like, I've got my skin and blood dripping on your desk, and you're telling me I made that up. I mean, that was how bad that place was.
Like, you just have a makeup artist friend who did that. You had them do that right after you printed the paper, but before you went down to their office.
Yeah, really. I mean, that was just it. I handed her the emergency room. I handed my doctor at the VA. There was so much involved with that. And then the Vicodin prescription. And she still wanted me behind the wheel on Vicodin. I'm like, no, that's illegal.
Yeah.
There's no way. But when I went to work for Flexingate, like I said, I was there for, God, almost 3 years. I was with Flexingate. And I had a great time working for Flexingate Logistics. I mean, just a wonderful company. But I wanted to get something closer to home, because I ended up, I had my place in Goofy Ridge. I was driving 2 hours to go to work.
Yeah. That would very much suck.
Because I would get up and hit the road, and I would take off in the Suburban, and I would drive clear to Covington, Indiana.
Ouch.
And park my truck and get in the rig. And once I was there, I mean, I'm in the company rig. I'm gone for, and the other side was, look, I want to try to get in 5 days so I can have time with my son. And there was multiple times that did not happen. I got in at like 6. But they tried to get it as close to that 5-day mark as they could. But when I'm only getting 34 hours,
yeah,
time with my son was tough. And I didn't like that. The third place in my career that I really liked working, I had a good time there. I may not have made the money that I made at Flexingate or that I made working for Gina at Cavalier, but I really had a good time, and most of the people that were there were really cool. And that was as an instructor at Southern Careers Institute, where I am returning. I had a fantastic time with that job.
And some of the stories that you'd relay to me were often pretty good. Well, when you weren't frustrated with the with the students.
All right, so Corey says that when he worked at CIT, they had 2 guys who would run route from Dallas to Springfield, pulling doubles for the terminal next door to the shop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw CIT around around Dallas all the time. And that's what I'm saying. That lane. Let's see. One was back home. One was in Springfield. I think that's what you're saying, isn't it, Corey? But yeah, I mean, that was just it was a fun job because when we started cutting the dead weight that was there when I started working there, okay?
Okay.
Because when I started working at the Austin campus, I was not only fighting that director of education who was very, very combative, not only with me, but also with my boss, and even tried lipping off to the CEO.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, she just thought she knew it all. And it's like, you have spent exactly 12 minutes inside of a truck. And at that time, I was like, I've been inside of these damn things for 11 going on 12 years. Now I'm at 13, you know,
Yeah.
and I've got a lot of miles under my belt that says you ain't got a clue.
Yeah, she sat in one once. She's cool.
She was afraid to get behind the wheel to try to put it in reverse. I mean, but that's above and beyond the point. It's like,
Yeah.
you were in a truck for 12 minutes. Now you think you know everything about them. No, I will go out there and embarrass you with knowledge on a truck and what it takes to run one down the road. She started in with me one night. She goes, well, you don't even know what you're talking about when you're talking about driving. I turned around. I looked her dead in the eye and I said, you get your ass out there and get it in that truck right fucking now. And she goes, don't you dare talk to me. I said, I'm off duty. I'll talk to you however I please. But if you're going to pull that shit, get in that truck right now and I'll show you that I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take that rig into places that are going to make you shit your pants. And, well, I came home, and luckily I was off for the weekend at that point, but I got a call from my boss on the way home, and he goes, I kind of halfway smoothed it over and told her that you're right. But, man, you got to be careful around her. She's good. Yeah, I know. I've been around people like this my whole career. I know.
Yeah.
We had another instructor there when I first started, and hey, Haas, we had another instructor there when I first started in Austin. That he was like a 4'6" little midget Mexican. That had his hair all grown out and everything. He looked like a Furby. And as a matter of fact, he is still in my phone as Mexican Furby.
Damn
it. Your nose okay?
Yeah, I almost had sweet tea come out of it. Thanks.
But yeah, he is in my phone as the Mexican Furby. Now his thing was he'd pick 2 or 3 or 4 students that he liked, and then he'd throw them in a truck and disappear all day. And then I'm sitting back at the yard trying to teach, and I've got 15 people on the yard, and I've got one truck, and I'm going, hey, you need to get back here, dude. I've got people that need road time. Oh, yeah, I'm less than 20 minutes away. He shows up 3 hours fucking later. Then he's drunk. And he was hurting our pass rate, okay?
What's up,
now, circumstances around why he was let go, I will leave that to where it needs to be left at, because it doesn't need to be talked about at this point. I can't, honestly, even though I know most of it. But the long and the short is it wound up while I was in Waco and I was filling in for another instructor who was on his honeymoon. I got up there, I got to teach in Waco. The president of our particular program at the school saw me teach, saw how I did it, really liked what I did. And he's like, yeah, you ain't going anywhere unless you decide to leave. And we got along really well. Okay. Well, then I went from Waco to San Antonio, and I was teaching in San Antonio, trying to help them get different students through the program and out. And I got called back to Austin, 3 weeks later, right?
Right.
Well, I'd already put in for a transfer at this point because of that director of education. I could not stand her. She was my biggest problem. But knowing that he was there and he was part 2 of that, that didn't sit well,
Yeah.
So he ends up being let go. I had to go back to Austin. I mean, my first week back in Austin, I was not happy, dude. I was ready to just swing at everybody, okay?
Okay.
But it wound up being just me and Jason. And we worked out our program. We had it figured. We were doing great. And Jason's the other instructor that's still there. Working together, we took that campus from a 30 some odd percent first time pass rate. And we had it up to 80% when I transferred full time to San Antonio. Okay. 80% first time go. That director of education, subsequently, while I was still there, was fired. And then we lost a really good registrar who took care of our students really well. And that registrar and we worked together all the time. I was in her office for a minimum of 45 minutes every day discussing what had to happen, where, how, and why. We just had a great working relationship, and I lost that. Now the president of the program is at the campus in Austin. He's running it as campus director right now. 1. 2, the girl that they hired to replace me when I left Austin is who they just fired to bring me back. Why did they fire her? Because she tanked the pass rate down to a point that it is below 20% first time go. She was hard. She'd always call off. There were a lot of different compliance issues that were involved that I never did and that Jason won't do. And we're like, no, she's gone. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So kind of coming full circle around with this, I'm fired at 12:04 on Friday. Happy fucking birthday to me.
Yeah.
My immediate supervisor calls me from San Antonio from the school at 2:15. He goes, "You're kidding me," because I sent him a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're fucking kidding me." And I said, "Nope." He goes, "You're back on salary. Let me see what I can do about getting you down to San Antonio, but you are back on salary, effective immediately."
Awesome.
So I had an unemployment time frame of
2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. 2 hours and 15 or no, 11
2 hours and 11 minutes I was unemployed this weekend.
Man,
it was terrible.
Hard times.
Long unemployment time frame. Oh, it was so difficult.
Yeah. Things you were thinking about doing for cigarettes and whiskey.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh. I was coming up with some ideas that I shouldn't have been coming up with because it was such a long time to be unemployed.
I know.
Oh, it's terrible.
And on your birthday.
It was
Oh,
birthday. That was the part that blew me away because they knew it was my birthday and to fire me anyway after I give them a note. You could have waited a damn day.
yeah,
At least say something the next day. No, you do it on my fucking birthday.
yeah,
Holy crap. That's insult to injury right there, you know?
yeah.
And it's like, well, how much of the route did you finish? I'm like, stick it.
It's like, I don't know. Why don't you figure it out? I was
I,
fired.
I looked
There
up
you
and I
go.
was like, you just fired me on my birthday. Yeah, fuck you. I was like, after you heard me tell you when I came in first thing in the morning that I had just lost a really good friend of mine the night before, and I'd been up since mid till almost 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
So no, my boss and I talked about it today, and he goes, well, all things considered and what they did, what do you want to do? I said, I want them red flagged. If they come in trying to get a driver out of the school, hell no. We do not place with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you see how they treat drivers. You really want to subject one of your recently graduated but former students to that?
Yeah, no, and I won't.
Yeah.
Now, here's the fun thing. Like, I will be telling my students, do not go there. Do not go there. But what's going to be even more fun is as I'm doing that, oh, but they have a big problemo on the way. Because I will be going to New Braunfels again every week so students can test. That puts me around other instructors. That puts me around Department of Public Safety. That puts me around a whole lot of different people that I know and they know me. And I say, do not send your students there to get a job. Here is why. I'm going to tell you what. Yeah. No, Corey, you're right. I mean, they are sending out trucks that are non-compliant. I think Corey's a little behind us here. Yeah, it is. It is a safety issue to the public, and they're not worried about it. But that's why I'm saying DOT and TCEQ, because you got the Texas Commission for Environmental Quality. They will shut somebody down faster than the DOT, and TCEQ needs to be involved in this shit too.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I'm going to tell them. You need to check the tank at Burnett. You need to check the tank at Tesla, and you need to check the tank at San Marcos. And be ready. Because, I mean, the guy that they put in that truck to replace me, I hear he dumps 2 gallons on the ground every time he fills it up. Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, you know what they should do, but they've made it very clear that's not what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. They should get rid of him, but they're not going to do that. Now, I do have a little bit of sweet symphony that goes with that.
If you have a song, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
Like an AI song.
I would love it. But there is something that I thought of while I was drinking
Oh, here we go.
that
Oh, no.
really hit, and I started laughing. All right. So, to run that sludge truck, the driver has to have a Class A CDL with a tanker endorsement.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Which I have. And which the other idiot had.
I don't know how, but yeah. Okay.
Wow. All right. So one of us was always going to be the other one's backup in case one of us had to take PTO.
Yeah.
Okay. He is now they had they have they had two other people with tanker endorsements that they could have trained for that job, right?
Right.
Well, one of them I know very well. He is very close friend. He refuses to do that job because, quote unquote, he doesn't want to smell it. And he will not do it. He absolutely refuses. Okay. Well, the other one put in his 2-week notice on Tuesday and was fired Tuesday night
So it seems a habit
while
when
he was off
people.
of work.
Oh, lovely.
So he never had to come back. And yes, they are showing a habit of this. All right. So,
So let's do the math here. So they had you, the backup,
right,
and then two other guys that could have trained.
right.
One refuses to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then, then the other guy, he's out. You're out. So that just leaves
Oh, wait, that one.
one.
Yeah.
I had to watch how I did that. I wanted to do it the other way, but I'm like,
So I'm thinking about it while I was drinking, and then this morning while I was eating my chicken fried steak breakfast.
breakfast champions.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Buddy mine ain't going to do that job. They tried to make him do that job. He is in a position where he can go, yeah, okay, fuck you, I'm out too.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll walk. Then they're really down. And they've got the one doing the sludge route. He can't take any PTO right now.
Yep.
Because that route's got to be run literally every single freaking day.
And they have no one else trained for it.
And they have no one else trained for it. They don't have anybody with the endorsements that will learn it. He cannot take PTO. I don't think it's clicked in his little pea brain yet how screwed he really is at this juncture to be able to do anything.
I'm not surprised by that.
Really,
honestly.
But yeah, I don't think it's clicked. And now it will click towards midweek this week when he goes, wait a minute. I can't take any of my PTO because the guy who could have done the job is gone.
Mm-hmm. And the guy who could have been trained is gone. And the other guy doesn't want to do it, and he'll walk if made to do it.
Correct. Now, I did do one other one. I mean, maybe it wasn't the most mean thing I could do, but I did it anyway. When I pulled back in with that rig, I did not fill it up with fuel. I left the windows down. I pulled the keys. I walked in. I hung them up. I handed in my phone. I said, you know what? I'm going to make a call up to Illinois later on this week. Y'all can expect a big old box of some shit-stained dirty underwear, and when I get here, you can eat them.
It's like the scene from Half Baked. You're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool, and fuck you, I'm out.
Pretty much. And I ran into one of my now former coworkers. I ran into her at up at Pat's yesterday, and she was asking about it. And I told her, I was like, I put in my 2 weeks notice and your boss fired me for it. She goes, you're kidding. I said, no. I got fired for putting in my notice.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm sure she'll be like, well, he had a bad attitude. Well, my attitude has nothing to do with my abilities.
Well, your attitude was matching the equipment they were giving you.
Yeah. I was like, I had a job that was not as stressful on me, that I enjoyed. And why would you fill?
With gas, I'm guessing? Or
Oh,
with
yeah.
diesel?
Oh, yeah. Why would I didn't fill the trailer with gas. I didn't fill the truck with diesel. I just yeah, he's got a point. Why would you fill it up? They're firing you. Yep, screw
Yeah.
you.
What are they going to do? Fire you
What
again?
yeah, what are they gonna fire me?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. I don't work for them anymore. You fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
You fired me while I was out on route.
Yep.
That's the other thing. They could have waited until I finished route and then said, well, you're fired.
Just get the truck back to their property, get out, walk in, hand them the keys. Here you go. You can park it.
I almost threw the keys up onto a tire and left it sitting where I was at, called an Uber, and brought an Uber back to the yard, turn in the phone and go, yeah, it's over there. You can go get it. Fuck you.
Yep. Y'all fired me. I don't have to drive your truck anymore.
But I drove it back. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to pay for a Uber. I don't want to pay for an Uber from Lago Vista,
For a Uber.
I mean,
that sounds like a bad Uber to get into,
Yeah,
unless you're looking for something like that.
That wasn't an Uber. That was a Luger. I mean, I'm telling you what, doing that would have been like a $400 Uber getting back to where I needed to be. I'm like, no,
Oh, Jesus.
I'll drive back. It's less diesel they got in that piece of crap on Monday. Ha ha.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I could shut my alarm off tomorrow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to wake up at dark 30 and get ready to go in there and go deal with that crap. Now, once I know all the arrangements and everything, I know where we're at. I'll probably be heading down for San Antonio, either late Monday night or Tuesday morning, and then stay down there a night or two to kind of get refreshed, get myself back up to speed, get my phone up and running. And it looks like tomorrow I'm going to be doing more work from home stuff. So,
Okay.
that's going to help me out a lot because I also have some stuff I've got to get done for school and I've got to get it prepped and ready and turned in tomorrow. So, in any case, I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow here.
The good thing about this new job, you were taking your motorcycle there more frequently than this last current job. So you get to be on.
The one guy we were talking about, I saw him rip out of that parking lot. I don't know how many times without a regard for anybody out there. And I mean, he almost smacked my bike twice.
Yeah.
Then when he started driving in this dually flatbed pickup that he's got, it is a hunk of junk, and part of it is it's a Ford. But I mean, it's just a piece of crap. I'm like, you could tell he don't care what he hits in that thing, and he would have taken out my bike, and then I would have had to commit a murder. Corey says that he worked with a guy who quit and had a company car. So he called the boss and said, he got his job back with the phone company and that the boss had to come and get their shit out of his driveway. Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Now, here's what kills me about stuff like this, all right? And I think back. If you think back even 15 years, okay?
Okay.
If you showed the dedication to a company, they tended to reward that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great example. I mean, one of the best examples I can think of is my dad. He started for the company where he retired. He started for them in 1983.
Okay. So I was 2. Yay.
He retired from there 39 years later in 2022.
Okay.
He was 70 years old when he retired. Think about that. They never thought of getting rid of him, ever once. He showed them the dedication and the loyalty to the company, and they rewarded that. When he was a road service mechanic, they'd get the new van in. He had first crack at it. When it was, he became their technical and training manager. He was teaching people how to do the work that he did, and he was in charge of all the tech stuff. He kept the internet service up and running and doing what it was supposed to do. He kept them within compliance of who the franchise was through. He did a lot. They let him retire on his terms and go on his decision. That was loyalty.
Yeah.
You look at my boss Eric Cavalier, you look at Gina. There's loyalty there. I could show up tomorrow and go, "Yeah, hey, I'll work for you for a week or so." And she'd have a truck ready for me.
Because she knows you'd take care of it and you would do what you're supposed to do as you're supposed to do it.
I'm going to take care of her equipment, and I'm going to get out there and do what I need to do. And, she would not have a problem with it. But I look at that and I think back and I go, what happened to that kind of loyalty from employers? Because, what was that there? Best viewers quick ad online. Yeah, I have no idea. But no, that kind of loyalty from an employer it's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
And honestly, what I just experienced over there, I would expect if I was still selling cars at car dealerships, I would have expected that. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a car sales reaction if I've ever seen it. Not a trucking company.
Well, in the end, they showed their true colors.
Now, all right.
They just gave you hints along the way.
When I put in my 2-week notice with FedEx to go to work there, all right. And I think I brought this up when it happened, but I put in my notice. I worked. Now, the difference is yes, I did not have to come in my last day. But what happened was my boss there contacted me and said, "Hey, you didn't have to do this. You could have been a lot worse about it, but you kept your professionalism up. You came in, you worked, you didn't complain, you still did your job, you did it with the utmost confidence. As a reward, go ahead and enjoy the night off, and good luck."
So my question to you is, was it a paid day off?
I actually did get paid for it. She did pay me for the day. So
all right. Then it is a reward.
It was a reward I didn't realize it until I got the paycheck and I saw that, yes, she had paid me for it. But I was like, man, that was cool. And obviously when the floods happened and they called to see if we were all okay, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
No, and I told her, it's not them. They are the sweetest people on the planet. Very, very Southern Baptist Christian, but very, very Christian, good people. God bless them, but it's the nature of the job through FedEx that it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not them. They're great people, but would I work for them hauling for FedEx again? No, absolutely not. FedEx is terrible. And so you look at the different companies that are out there, it's insane. Yeah, and I'm surprised when I hear about a company that does have loyalty. Like you look at Tyler, all right? He's been there where he's working for as long as I've known him.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I know a little bit about that place. Now he's in there, he's on time, he does his job, he's doing what he needs to do, right?
Yep. 1 week days and then 1 week nights.
Well, I thought it was
And
1 month, 1 month.
I don't know. He seems to be rotating now.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, here's the flip, okay? If he messed it up once, one time, that place, boot him right out the door.
Yep.
They'll do it in a second. And he knows it. You listen to him talk about his job. What's facts? He sounds like he's tiptoeing around there.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to lose his job. Honestly, I think they should pay him, I don't know, double what he's making now.
Forklift driver working in a warehouse, no AC. I remember so many times during the summers, it's just like 100 and something degrees in that warehouse. They have to work anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, no, they should pay him like double. Whatever he's making, pay double. Will they? No, because they've got him there making what he's making, and he goes in and he's content.
Yep.
So they're going to be like, that's more money in my corporate pocket where I could go and I could use my Diners Club card and buy a filet mignon at the Trump restaurant.
But if he went into an office and asked for a raise, he'd be fired.
Probably.
Because it's cheaper to replace him at that point than to give him that raise.
Probably. I'm just like, you got to be kidding, man.
Yeah.
So I am going to let you, I got to pee. And I know you want to promote a couple of things. So I'm going to back out for a bit and let you do that.
Okay. Promote a couple things. Okay. Not that I knew of, but hey. I have been working on trying to bring back the corner arcade. I don't really know what it looks like as of yet, but I am working on it. So I'm hoping to bring that back in some way, shape, or form. We'll just see how that goes. But outside of that, it's not really a whole lot going on. I asked to pray for friends and family of Steve. Lord knows, we all could do it because Steve was a big part of a lot of our lives, and it's hitting some people really bad, like TJ, Rhino, especially Rhino and Reba, Ray and his crew. Don't forget to join Morning Disaster on Tuesday at 8 a.m. for the celebration of Steve. Listen to some funny stories, share some funny stories. Let's try and let him know that he wasn't going to be alone when he passed. Because that was a fear he had, that no one was going to miss him when he was gone. So let's make sure that we let him know that he's not. That he is very much missed.
A little bit of a different flavor. I'm not used to that one that much anymore.
Bit of banquet style.
Yeah, I got myself a couple of the yellow bellies. All right. So Corey says here, JB gets his way of the temp, gets over 80. That'll have them closed for the day if he gets his way. Yeah, I don't see that happening. When you look at manufacturing, I mean that's got to work in all temperatures. And in all
Yeah.
honesty, with what they're doing over there with Tyler Works, there's a lot of heat that's involved. They have to have that heat in there
Yeah.
to be able to run. Because if you think about it, even in the wintertime, when he's over there working, he's pouring sweat when he comes outside.
Yep.
Because it's so hot in there. Yes, Corey,
Yes,
absolutely.
Corey.
So, kind of back on point where Adam was at. We
Yeah.
know Rhino is really taking it hard.
Yeah.
Reba, Rhino's wife. Oh my God! Every time I call over there to talk, they're in tears. They're really taking it hard. Bubba is taking it extremely hard.
Yeah.
Ray, believe it or not, you guys, everybody who has listened to Ray over the years thinks that, he's just about trying to get the joke. No, I'm telling you what, you guys saw it. For anybody who saw the announcement on Thursday, I'm going to tell you right now that you saw my friend that day. Thursday night, you saw my friend because he cracked.
Mm-hmm.
And he started crying right there. It hurt him. And that's how deeply he feels stuff, okay? Despite everything that Ray Lytle and I could say, do, or whatever to each other, and we are good at driving each other crazy.
Yes, you are. Both of you.
But what you saw Thursday night, that is a big reason why we are friends. He feels everything very deeply. And what a lot of people don't know is that he always takes it to heart. That man, where you don't see it, but he wears his heart right there on his sleeve. And the more he jokes with you and tears it up, that's the more he likes you. And let's face it, we all remember him calling Steve's phone when Steve was in the hospital with the dirty foot
Yeah.
and leaving the voicemail. Rest in peace, my friend. And hanging up the phone. And Steve calling back in and logging back in and unloading on rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah.
I just it was then to get the announcement like we did, that 'cause I was really thinking about sending him that text message
Oh.
Friday for my birthday.
Yeah.
I was going to send it to him, and
Yeah.
we got the announcement Thursday, and I'm going, oh, thank God I did not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everybody who was close to him is taking it extremely hard. And I think the two people that are taking it the hardest right now, and please, please, please keep them in your thoughts, your prayers. And I don't know if you believe or don't believe. If it's, I don't care if you're praying to a higher power or God or fate or Bigfoot or the Great Pumpkin, whatever you pray to.
Or a grilled cheese sandwich,
Yeah,
whatever.
it could be whatever. Uh, Dan and Christina, they are going to have one of the single hardest jobs there is with assisting the family. Keep them in your thoughts and your prayers with Ray and his family trying to get through this because it was a devastating loss. Keep them in your hearts and your prayers. You know, um, with Rhino and Reba and Bubba, that they get to find some peace and keep them in your hearts and your prayers because they are all taking this so extremely hard and for good reason.
Yeah.
And I have people that are checking up on me every day, and I'm gonna digress and say to that, I really do appreciate it. And I understand why people are doing that because you all know that Steve and I were also very close. Um, I don't need it. I appreciate it, but I don't need it. As you
Uh,
can ask Adam, I know my way through the grieving process. I've
uh,
lived it.
unfortunately, you're well practiced at this point,
Yeah, I
for better or worse.
I mean, I hate to say it. I appreciate it. I understand. Eh, Reach out to these other people who don't have that kind of experience and make sure they know that you're there. Because unfortunately, all you have to do is look at my 2024. Oh my God. Now, if I couldn't be prepped and ready for anything at this point from that year,
Yeah.
then I don't, that year just got, what was it? Two uncles, an aunt, my grandfather, and then four of my friends
Yeah.
in that year.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't be ready at this point for something untimely to happen to somebody I care about, then I really need to reevaluate a few things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I'm very, very well accustomed at this point to death. Um, that's unfortunately, it's just the facts,
Yeah. That's just the way it kind of is for you.
right? Uh, let's see. We'll stay on for a little bit longer, but I do have to log out here. I've got to get prepped to log out here because I have to be logged into the school website by 6 and ready to go because I have a collaboration symposium that I'm logging in for to help me out with typing my argumentative essay.
Okay.
That is my final essay for my English composition course. Now,
See,
I
I already know how. I already know that you know how to be argumentative, but now it's just putting it on paper.
well, I'm actually going to learn how to be more professionally argumentative,
Yeah.
academic sense.
Okay.
So this will be, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll tell you what. Now, Professor Jones from this year in my English comp class, man, he he has given me some stuff to read that I've absolutely loved. And one of the things that I read this year, and I sat back and I really had to think about it and I loved it, all right, was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s letters from the Montgomery jail.
Okay.
That letter was 5 fucking pages long and like size 10 font.
So more like 10 pages
Yeah, I'm
long.
sitting there like, I'm squinting to read it. But you want to talk about what an amazing, moving paper to read. Oh my God. Never once asked for violence, never once asked for help. The only thing he asked his fellow clerics for in that letter was understanding the cause and patience, temperance, and forgiveness. An amazing, what an amazing, powerful letter to read. And reminded me a lot of why I liked Dr. King so much. Man, just highly intelligent. And I really, really did enjoy that paper. Of course, I also listened to the I Have a Dream speech at least, twice a year. I don't know what song's being played, but Bubba's in the chat room on Southern Fried Radio, and he said that song made him want to twerk.
No. See, in Bubba's grief, he's making bad decisions.
But it made him want to twerk, man.
Is it twerking in happiness or just, or what?
He says, why not?
like either way, I don't want to watch it. But I guess if it cheers him up.
Here. If you decide to twerk, send the video to Adam.
No. You can fuck off with that one. No.
Send a video to Tyler.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let that
one go. If I do that, Tyler's going to log in here. I'll get a message. Send link.
I will ask Bubba on Weird Frequencies if he took the time to twerk at around 5:15. Yeah, that's something I don't want to see.
I was like, Adam and I agree, Bubba. If you decide to twerk, send the video to Tyler. And Rhino's cracking up now, finally.
Good. During these trying times, laughter is good.
Fisher's going, I'm not feeling well imagining that.
Don't imagine it and just laugh at it.
Oh God, that would be a whole lot of twerking. Ooh. Now you know what would have been funnier? That man. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, that would have been funny if Steve tried it.
What if Steve would have twerked?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh wait.
Like, didn't he? I thought he did once.
I thought he did. You know what? You're right. I think he did one. Oh God, that was disturbing. And on that note, let's go around. Of course, Adam, final thoughts.
Take care of the people around you. Make sure they know how you feel about them. And if you're feeling alone, get out and not be alone. Find some friends. Do something. Distract yourself with whatever you can. Take care of the ones around you.
Chat room, I'm entertaining any final thoughts out of you guys tonight. I will say as final thought number one, I really hope Bubba gets a video of him twerking and sends it to Tyler, because I know Tyler will send me a message at that point going, "Link now." And he'll want to log in here just to chew my ass because he'll know it was my idea.
Yep.
And all I will be able to do is sit here and laugh and go, "Yeah, it was my idea. I figured you needed cheering up, and I thought that would help." You
And you
know?
know what? And on weird frequencies, Rob can be the mediator because he's not involved in this whatsoever. So he can discuss that through. I can't be the mediator. I'm here with you.
I know, right?
So,
And I just roped you in and said it was your idea too.
oh, good. Great. So
So add,
you may not even get bitched at. That might be
yeah,
all
Tyler
me.
will yell at you first, and then he'll yell at me later. Which Tyler is. I will say this after Thursday night, and I really did enjoy having him back on and doing a show with him, even though it was just the worst of conditions to do one. To actually do a show with him again and talk about a lot of the good times that we had. I will say that Tyler is welcome on the show whenever he wants to come on. I would not expect to see him as a regular. Matter of fact, I know I'm not going to see him as a regular, and I know he's got a lot of stuff going on for his own different podcasts and what he's doing. But he will be more than welcome to come back on whenever he feels like he wants a break.
Yeah. Or
And
just gets bored on a Thursday or
on a Thursday night or on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to get back down to the learning tree for a little bit and maybe pick my brain. That's fine too. He's more than welcome to call me anytime. And yeah, I'm glad we were finally able to get past some of that crap and put it behind us.
Yeah.
As far as others, there is one for sure that no, not again. Actually, there's a couple of them that I'm pretty sure would be a no. There's a couple of them there that they'd have to sit down and talk to me too. But I can think of probably 3 off the top of my head that it's just a dead set solid no. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up so I could switch over to my school stuff.
Okay.
And get ready to log into my symposium and learn. I now have to go sit under the learning tree myself. So,
well, I got to study up on Kentucky goblins for weird frequencies tonight.
Kentucky goblins.
Yeah. Tune in if you want to see what that's all about.
Please tell me that is a joke.
Nope, that's the subject we're going over. Tyler's doing a deep dive into it.
Who came up with that?
Tyler.
Good Lord.
We'll see how it goes.
Do you know what Kentucky goblins really are?
Not yet. I'm about to find out.
Yeah. They're low rent lot lizards in Kentucky.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it's going to be for weird frequencies.
I will tell Bubba that in the Southern Fried Chat. But in the meantime, everybody, the last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap it up is at this juncture, I have some decisions that I need to make, and I will be making them over the course of this week. You know, of course, I'm going to continue my Southern Fried Cast. That's Mondays and Thursday nights. But as I work on these decisions, the decisions are: one, if Smoker Mania continues at this point. 2, if Mayhem's going to take a hiatus for a little bit.
Or what it even looks like after.
Right now, my biggest focus as far as anything on the air goes is to get through Tuesday
Yeah.
After that, I'm going to sit back and really make some decisions and see kind of where everything lies.
Okay.
So I will keep you posted through the Facebook page, everybody. You'll see written updates or something as I'm making these decisions. Until then, though, take care. Hold your loved ones close. And Corey, if we get a video of Bubba twerking, we will happily forward it to you. All right. In the meantime, this has been another edition of Mayhem's Amigos. We'll see all of you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.